Hey folks, Jimmy here, aka Palette of the Dead. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to the latest issue of Warhammer Age of Sigmar Stormbringer magazine. Now, as per usual, with all these videos, if you like them, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and, of course, drop a comment down below. I love hearing back from you guys. It goes a massive way to helping out the channel too. Now, obviously, this week we're on issue 70 of Stormbringer magazine, so 10 issues left. It's not long, in all honesty. It is probably going to fly by. So yeah, but this week we do get some more Ironjaws. We get a Warhammer Underworld's Warband, so obviously they have pre-sculpted bases. So some of them might look like they're missing feet, but it's actually because they're designed to fit on certain bases and such like. So there's not much in the way of conversion you can do with these guys, but they're pretty good. Obviously they're Ironjaws, so they are good old greenskins. They are good old Oryx. They have big heavy cleavers, clubs and maces, and they are very, 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 very brutish. So pretty cool, pretty interesting. Not too bad. And obviously with it being a Warhammer Underworld's Warband, this would be normally what, 23 quid if you were to buy it from GW, and you're getting it for a tenner, which is a bargain. When it's half price, it's always really, really nice. Moving into this week's issue though, first off we are greeted by Nagash, the Great Necromancer. Nagash goes by many names: the Supreme Lord of the Undead, the Great Necromancer, and the Undying King, among many others. In the world that was, Nagash rose from mortality to godhood. During the Age of Myth in the Mortal Realms, Sigmar found Nagash in Shaiish, trapped under a cairn of Realmstone. In need of allies, Sigmar reluctantly freed Nagash, who joined his pantheon of order. So, Nagash, being Nagash though, is quite a destabilising character, and yeah, kind of upset the balance of that pantheon, and quickly decided to scheme for himself and elevate himself further above all others. And yeah, it is what it is. So Nagash, the other thing with Nagash is that he was once a mortal man in the world that was. He came from Khemri, so he was essentially kind of a roundabout part of the realms of the Tomb Kings. He was one of their mortuary priests, and he was once assassinated by Skaven, and then he came back at the end times, and so on and so on and so on. So pretty interesting, pretty different, and obviously because he is the Lord of Bones, he has become this big, massive, supreme being of bone mostly. So pretty cool. Moving on though, obviously you get more information about his kind of forces. So obviously he does value the Soulblight Gravelords for their ruthless cunning and intellect, but the vampires themselves are very resentful of his control and grudgingly cede to his will when they need to, but otherwise they like to do their own thing. Ossiarch Bone Reapers though are one purpose kind of killing machines. They expand Nagash's kingdom through conquest. They mercilessly pursue hives of bone to strengthen their army for this purpose. And they are essentially mindless automatons in a roundabout way. Then there are the Flesh Eater Courts, so Nagash retains some mastery over the maniac Flesh Eater Courts. However, his commands are often interpreted through layers of delusion, and it's not an absolute control. They are very, very individualistic, and not that controllable. And then there are the Nighthaunts. So the Nighthaunts are, of course, pressed into Nagash's service as his weapons of intimidation and terror. Tortured spirits, but their cruelty and bitterness is kind of pushed towards that task. So pretty cool. Nagash is a very, very interesting character as well within the world that was and in the Age of Sigmar. So pretty cool. Then moving on, we have Ironskull's Boys page. So obviously this is all to do with our 4 minis for this week. Obviously you get to do their reasons for joining. You get to do their tactics, and they're already named because they are a named set of units. So there's not really a lot to them to do that one. Then you got your build guide. The build guide, fairly straightforward. Obviously it's a Warhammer Underworld's Warband, so it is designed to just be push fit, so you don't have to faff around with glue. And obviously the parts are designed to just quite easily go together and be very obvious in how they go together as well. So, pretty cool. They are pretty decent. I must admit, push fit models aren't everyone's cup of tea. However, the Warhammer Underworlds Warband push fit models are actually pretty decent. So, you get some pretty good builds out of them. They're pretty good sculpts, and they do genuinely fit together fairly easily. So, what's not really to like about them when they're dead simple. Then you got your paint guide. So paint guide is generally fairly easy. However, it is entirely up to you how you want to go about doing it. If you are going for that yellow colour, Everland Sunset is your friend for the base coat of the armour. However, it is going to be a pain in the backside. I won't lie to you. Yellow paints are thin, as I've said before, and can be a bit of a nightmare. However, following the guide does actually work very, very nicely for these guys, and you will get some pretty decent looking minis at the end of it. And yeah, it is entirely up to you. Personally, I would do a little tiny bit of chipping with like your lead belcher into that kind of yellow to kind of take away from it, so it looks like it's been a bit scarred and damaged and such like, because at the end of the day it is essentially sheet metal, so you want it to have that kind of little metallicness coming through, like it's been a bit damaged. But otherwise, when you're done though, that's actually a pretty decent colour. Does work very, very well. Obviously, I will say that I don't like the very thick edge highlights. It's up to you though how you go about doing it, but otherwise they're pretty decent. Obviously though, you don't have to go for yellow. You can go for whatever colour you want. So do not feel like you are forced into having that yellow. If you want to go to brighter yellows though, you're going to need some brighter yellow colours, so just keep an eye out for some. Anyway, you get your war scroll and your tutorial of how to utilise them. We get tactics for our Vigilors as well, for good old Stormcast Eternals. On the other page though, the Vanquishers get their good old tactics page, and yeah, you get to do a bit more with them. And obviously the Stormcast Eternals are pretty decent. And obviously these Stormcast Eternals will be carried into the new version, so some of these war scrolls will change and such like, and so will their tactics with the new edition. Then you got Flame and Fury Firebrand Pass. So this is our battle plan for the week. Choose your heroes, and this time we have 6 troops, so we are building bigger armies to take in with us, which is pretty interesting at the same time. Then you got your battle mat, so obviously your 4 battle mats. It's basically head-to-head smashy, capture the 5 objectives that are more all in the middle, and have a bit of fun with it. And obviously it is replayable. You can pick different heroes, different troops, depending on how you want to play the game. So pretty cool stuff. And then we're just going to skip straight onto the back page. Obviously next week is a paint issue. We get Night Questor Flesh, which yeah, I do genuinely kind of use it sometimes. And we get Colia Green Shade. Colia Green Shade is actually a pretty decent green shade paint. So yeah, very, very nice. The week after though, issue 72 is Bastion Carthalos. So Bastion Carthalos is our big leader for the Stormcast Eternals in this magazine. He's a fairly newish model. He's a pretty damn cool looking model. He's a pretty beefy badass with a pretty damn cool base on him. Genuinely, it's a really, really cool mini. I already have this guy, and I am kind of looking forward to doing him again. If I remember rightly, there is a helmeted version and a helmetless version, and it's up to you how you want to go about doing it. I might be wrong on that. But yeah, it's really good. So pretty damn cool stuff. And obviously we are drawing towards the end of Stormbringer magazine, so we're going to get some pretty cool minis out of it. Talking of cool minis though, the 4th edition goes on pre-order in 2 weeks. If I remember, it's the 28th of this month. Obviously, definitely worth keeping an eye out. The Games Workshop website will be very, very slow, very, very heavily trafficked, especially on the first day. But hopefully we've got plenty of them, because I must admit, I'm looking forward to the new edition. So, should be really good fun. Anyway, that is enough from me. Thank you very, very much for watching, and yeah, I'll see you sometime soon. Bye bye now.